touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you... Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans.
Well, good evening, race fans. We are live here tonight at Iowa for the USA Trucks West. And before we can get into the main event here tonight, we have our Sprint Qualifier to help line out the rest of the running order for the main event. And so the top 30 in points are locked into the main event. That means this group here of 15 drivers are on the outside of the top 30 in points and must race their way in. They're all going to be fighting for 7 spots, so half this field is going to go home. And on the front row, you've got Tim Cording. Don't mind the ARCA-esque Ford Volkswagen there. I will fix that next time. As you can see, it was a bit of a copy-paste. It looks a lot like that ARCA Toyota Mustang that we've seen that has cursed my dreams. Alongside that of Tasha Wright in the Volkswagen there. So the Volkswagen 1-2 at the front of the field. Then you've got William Whitmore and Joao Vitor, Rand Kataz and Jacob Shangle, Chase Kovacic and Lucas Holmes, Matthew Hubert and Chasey Plays, with Jameson Thole, Luis Rodriguez, and Daniel Paulus at the back of the field there. $50 laps here in our Sprint Qualifier. And here we go. Off to the early lead, it's Tim Cording with a good push from Whitmore there. And these 50 laps are going to sprint by pretty quickly, so you better be setting them up and putting them down as soon as you can. Whitmore in only his second career start here, that number 29 Reese's entry. We know Rand Kataz capable of getting the job done. Then you got newcomer Joao Vitor, and just his first ever start in the USA Truck Series here. We've seen Tasha before, but I think she's going to have a much stronger season with that Volkswagen power plant. It seems like VW's got something figured out. Now, Chase Kovacic's going to be hoping to make the main event here tonight. He has struggled gratefully putting all the pieces together in that number 71 Honda Ridgeline. But tonight could be an opportunity for him to shine in a smaller field. Currently on the bubble, he is in as he runs. He just needs to hold on to that 7th position and hope that he makes it to the main event. In the meantime, you've got Jamison Thole, Matthew Hubert, Luis Rodriguez, Lucas Holmes, and Daniel Paulus on the outside looking in. Not a whole lot of drama at the front of the field here, as it's been Tim Cording that started out with the lead and kind of driving away with it right now. You got Vitor in the 88 truck there, just quietly sitting in the background. I don't think we're going to see quite the same as we saw out of the Cup Series here just a week ago with pit strategy and tire degradation to quite the same intensity as we saw in that Cup race. Yeah, luckily this is only one of the few rare times that we have to run an LCQ this year, as this track only big enough for 37 entries. We have kept our field at 42, so we can pretty much run every track without any form of sprint qualifier, which was due in part to us splitting it up into an East and a West division to try and mitigate all those LCQ sprint qualifiers that we were having to do for a standalone division. So East and the West truly has helped make for better racing in this USA Trucks series. What's amazing is where we were once at about 60 drivers, we have grown to 82 between the two divisions. So definitely plenty of talent in the wings on both sides of the East and the West. Now, you'll start to get back into these sprint qualifiers once the combined championship, the W West East, once they combine up to duke it out for the best of the best from the East and the best of the best from the West. And then that's when you're going to have people that are still racing to get into the main events, because you'll have 40 people locked in based on their points during the regular season here. Top 10 will be able to duke it out from the East and the West for a grand total of 20 drivers eligible for that championship. And then 11th on back to 20th will be locked into every race, so they won't have to qualify in. But during our East-West Combined Championship, you'll see an LCQ of about 40 trucks, where only 2 of them get to qualify for the main event. So that's just around the corner, because we've only got 5 more races here in the regular season for the West and 5 left in the East. And then we'll be thinking about playoff racing here before long. Meantime, the battle for second here tightening up a little bit, as Whitmore has allowed the 88 of Vitor and the 30 of Wright to close up on him. It's nice seeing that Tim Cording picked up where he left off with a very, very domineering speed that's hard to beat. Might not want to step away from this battle quite yet, because I think there could be a pass materializing. This 88 of Vitor and the 30 of Wright. Here we go. It looks like they're bunching up even tighter here now. Got to start to wonder if their tires are wearing out just a little bit to allow for the rubber band effect to take place. More so look like a freight train running out there with 29 the leader. Here goes Tasha down low. Gonna make the move on the 88. And a move on up to third. Vitor back to fourth. Sitting in fifth, you got Kataz, Shangle, and a very spirited battle here for that last transfer spot. 27 of Hubert and the 71 of Kovacic. Kovacic's going to go low. He's going to make a move here and try to go back for that transfer spot. Gets the pass done. And your transfer battle here, it's going to be right down to the wire for these 3, I imagine. Those that might need to start packing their bags a little bit early here, if you look further back. Jamison Thole, Lucas Holmes, Luis Rodriguez, and Daniel Paulus, unfortunately. Tim Cording right on the trail to try and put Daniel Paulus a lap down, actually. The speed of that 90 truck seems to be unmatched here in this LCQ. Still a very impressive run here from Whitmore in his very, very early career in the USA Trucks. Tasha could try to move up to second here. It is very evident that she is out of the same stable as Tim Cording. You can tell, because that speed, not too far off the beaten path from the 90 truck. We just got past halfway here in the Sprint Qualifier. And the main event here after this is going to be 100 laps, so it's going to be a quick one. These truck guys and gals. While I'm thinking about it, let's see what the game says for pit window. 114 laps, so there's really no reason to see any green flag pit stops during the main event here tonight, which will be fine. It kind of throws you back to your grassroots racing, where most of your racing is done on one run without any pit stops or help from the pit crew. Of course, there could still be cautions. We might have some trucks get beat up in the melees. Daniel Paulus has gone a lap down now. As you can see, he's about to get passed by second and third place here. Here goes Tasha. She might try to use that 99 truck as a pick to make her move here for second. Not able to get the job done, but definitely knocking on the door, that 29 truck. We are down to just 15 laps to go here in the LCQ. That 30 truck still looking pretty strong there behind the 29. See the momentum she's carrying going through the turn. She dips low here on the 29. She might have an opportunity going through turns 1 and 2. And go ahead and knock KBM entries into the first and second position now. Took a little while, but Tasha showing some strength there in the number 30. Whitmore goes from second all the way back to fourth in the span of one lap. Still in the transfer spot, so nothing to worry about there. Chasey plays, holds that final transfer spot as it looks like Kovacic kind of faltering at the end here. He's fallen back to 9th, and he's getting passed by Tim Courting to put him a lap down. Kind of makes you wonder if the 71 used up his tires, trying to run just a little too hard here today. Still got 12 laps to make something happen. Perhaps a Hail Mary or mechanical failures from some of his competitors out there. But time definitely running out. Tim Courting about to make the move here on Hubert. Hubert's going to take the low line away from Tim Courting here. and use that 90 as a drafting partner to get by the 49. That in its own was really strategic, as that bumps Hubert in on the bubble and Chasey plays off the bubble. That could have been very well the move of the LCQ there, to use the leader as a drafting partner. I did not anticipate seeing something like that pan out. Now Chasey Plays could get the advantage back here as the 90 passes the 27. He has to decelerate a little bit there, a little bit cautious not to get into the 27. But our bubble fight starting to heat up a little bit again here, as Kovacic starting to catch back up. You're going to have to start running alternate lines here to try and run where they're not and make up that time. Chasey Plays doing a bit of an alternate line, a little bit slower that lap though. 27 seems to have found the fast track around here, or at least for what tires he's got left on the truck, he's able to put down better laps than the two guys behind him duking it out. Chasey under attack here by Kovacic. 6 laps remaining in the LCQ. These two, as it runs right now, would be out of the main event. Hubert keeps running strong laps here. And after this LCQ, it should be a pretty quick intermission. All I'll have to do is ping out about 6 drivers and we'll be good to go for the main event. So it won't take too long, but we will have a brief intermission at the conclusion of the LCQ here. Not looking like anyone's going to catch up to Hubert here. He keeps turning pretty quick laps, and the two behind him not nearly fast enough. Battle starting to brew for second and third again, as now you got Joao Vitor on the back bumper of Tasha there. Only a couple laps to go. White flag waving, one more lap to go. And it's all Matthew Hubert right now for that final transfer spot. But this might be the battle for second right at the line. And not really, as Tasha's going to hold off the 88 and finish the LCQ in second place here. Coming home third, Vitor, Whitmore in fourth. Coming home fifth was Ran Kataz, sixth Jacob Shangle, and seventh Matthew Hubert. Unfortunately, going home, it's going to be Chase Kovacic, Chasey Plays, Luis Rodriguez, Lucas Holmes, Jamison Thole, and Daniel Paulus Jr. Alrighty. So hold on tight. Maybe go take a bathroom break, get some snacks or a drink. It'll be about 5 minutes to get the next race set up with all our drivers that transferred into the main event. Well, I decided we're going to go ahead and add 25 laps to the main event here tonight just to give us a little bit extra racing. 100 laps just seemed a little bit too short. 25 shouldn't be too much longer, but it'll at least give us the potential for fuel mileage to be a concern here tonight. So 37 trucks for 125 laps here tonight at Iowa. And right about where he started in his LCQ, Tim Courting, starting on the front row here alongside Brian DeBlank. Then you've got the Trevors, which has been the huge story of 2024. We've seen all the wins go to them and one other guy named Noah Hobson. So Trevor Walker, Trevor Vaden, Matthew Fastnot, and Noah Hobson, John Hagan, and Chris Harvey. Alex Sanvital and Zach Magoon. Dave Steele Jr. and his teammate Kat Durham. Bailey Parker, Kyler Sestre, Krista Cower, and Tasha Wright. Spinham Walker and Jack Davis. Anheuser Walkner and Lynn Farrell. William Whitmore and Adam Starr. Paul Ladino and Jason So. Gavin Legend and Alan Chavot. Braden Hunt and Adam Cruz. Rich Roy and Joao Vitor. Rand Kataz and Craig Popchris. Jonah Burridge, Matthew Huber, Roach, Monty Shangle, and Jacob Shangle rounding out the field.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
So it is a Volkswagen lockout of the front row here tonight, which we have not seen something like that in a while. It's usually the Toyotas locking out the front row, specifically the Trevors. And we are live here tonight from Iowa. Tim Cording off to the early lead. Trevor Walker close behind him in second. Now the Trevors have a little bit of adversity to face here with the return of the veteran, the champion, Tim Cording. This has been a battle that we have been robbed of for a couple months this year. The 90 and the 21, what used to be the 50. And I think we saw Tim Cording face off against the 21 of Trevor Walker a few times. But this is very interesting. Now, Tim Cording, of course, has the ultimatum that he needs a win and needs to find his way into the top 30 in points to get a guaranteed berth in the playoffs. He's already fighting for the win here tonight, so you know very well what he's hungry for. Then you got to think about Trevor Walker, who has somewhat of a record to uphold as being the most dominant team this season. He definitely wants to keep that 90 in his rear view mirror as much as possible. Trevor puts the pass for the lead there on Tim Cording. Tim slots into second. Got Matthew Fastnot on the charge there in third. But Tim Cording is not going away. He's going to hold pretty tightly there in the rear view mirror of that 21 truck. Got to give credit to Alex Sanvital for being a very, very heavy sleeper in this series. I don't think anyone anticipated to see this many good runs out of that 93 team. And he continues to impress us week in and week out. 93 is going to be a prime contender when it gets down to crunch time this year. Still hasn't found victory lane, but it's a matter of when and not if he'll make it to victory lane. Vaden has settled into fifth here, right in front of Dave Steele Jr., Brian DeBlanc, Chris Harvey, John Hagan, and Bailey Parker there, taking over the seat that Joe Hill was driving. Joe Hill left the series, and immediately we needed someone else to make the call. And Bailey Parker, one of your ARCA drivers, hasn't gotten to victory lane in ARCA yet, but was excited to have an opportunity in good equipment here. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do in that number 03 truck, which is sitting pretty solidly in the points, I might add. You got Noah Hobson, the only other driver this season on the West Coast to win that's not named Trevor. He got it done at Portland just a couple weeks ago. Running in 13th right now, so perhaps trying to put together a long run to move through the field. Rich Roy, William Whitmore, Kat Durham, Adam Cruz, Alan Chavot. There you got Tasha Wright and Joao Vitor, two of your drivers from the LCQ. And then a couple more drivers from the LCQ, the 01 of Kataz and the 27 of Hubert. Dead end on track, it's Jack Davis as they duke it out for 36th and 37th back there. In the meanwhile, there's a battle brewing for first and second as Tim Cording is closed up on the back bumper of that 21 truck. It's one of those deals that, you know, the competition kind of gets this false sense of security when one of your competitors is missing for so long. They don't realize what adversity is for the most part. It's kind of what we've seen between Trevor Walker and Trevor Vaden, just the two teammates swapping the wins back and forth. 4 apiece. Actually, yeah, 4 apiece. And then that one other win to Noah Hobson. So Trevor Walker looking for win number 5 on the season if he can get it done here tonight. For the most part, it's a 2-truck train driving away from the rest of the field here. Trevor Walker, Tim Cording back in 3rd. It's Matthew Fastnot still. Still, if our pit report is any indicator, there shouldn't be any green flag pit stops, but you never know. Some of these guys that run at the front of the field might burn a little bit more fuel, and it's going to be really close on that window that they can make it without making any pit stops. For the most part, you might just see some guys running out of fuel on the last lap or after the checkered flag waves. Pretty sure the game doesn't make it so that your fuel consumption from practice and qualifying carry over to the actual race. And actually, I don't even think that really is a thing in real life. They probably refuel them before the start of each race anyways. I'm sure someone could verify that on their end. I'm pretty confident that they give him a full gas to start the race. That way it's fair and square for everyone. Well, holy cow, Alex Sanvital now moves up to 3rd, dropping Matthew Fastnot back to 5th, as Trevor Vaden, too, is on the attack here. That 20 truck moving through the field. It's a whole Toyota brigade from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And a couple Volkswagens and a Honda there in the top 7, it looks like. That would be a very exciting battle if we can get Trevor Vaden in the mix here and have both the Trevors duke it out with Tim Courting. Although it would be a very, very far-fetched possibility, but it would be awesome to see both Tim and Tom Courting, as well as Trevor and Jordan Walker, duking it out this season in the East-West Championship battle. That's one thing we'll have to keep a very close eye on, is that points battle, and whether or not either the Courting brothers can get a win and move up into the top 30 in points. It's going to be kind of an interesting side quest to follow. What stays relevant, though, is that you're looking at 2 of the best here in our USA Truck Series. These 2 have been the stars of the show pretty much since 2022, once the series was conceived. Trevor Walker came into the series right around that time, as well as Tim Courting. And you can see that the research and development has gone a long way to get these 2 teams to where they are today. And it's very exciting. It gets exciting to watch these battles unfold like this. That who's going to be the one to come out on top each battle? Is it going to be a Trevor, or is it going to be a Courting? You know, is it going to be someone new that's barely been in the series for a couple days? We saw it in our Bridge to Cup series when Cooper Dwight came onto the scene and won his first career start in all of Sigma Racing. Kind of puts the whole field on notice. A lot like Shane Van Gisbergen coming to NASCAR and winning in his first start. That just does not happen, and really makes you appreciate the talent that you're witnessing, that you're watching. It's really hard to dislike someone that just has that it factor. Now the battle getting a little bit convoluted with lap traffic here, as Tim and Trevor working their way through slicing and dicing. Tim not letting that 21 get too far away from him. And of course, we don't have any recollection or record books on this track. So a lot of what we're seeing is these drivers turning their first laps on a track that they have no data on. The laps are clipping away really quickly here tonight as we're on lap 37 of 125. About just a little bit shy of a quarter of the way through the race here. At the start, it was all Tim Courting for that couple of laps at the start of the race. Then Trevor Walker flexed his muscles and blew by the 90 truck. Since then, it's all Trevor Walker. Has led probably about 33 of the 38 laps now. Tim Courting, I think, just kind of quietly plotting his attack here. He knows that lap traffic's going to definitely be a factor all night here now. You never know if there might be a caution. Heck, we saw it go late into the cup race before we ever got a caution here. So they could run 125 laps here non-stop too. And then it's really going to come down to that tire attrition. And then again, maybe you have a driver that pits with 25 laps to go that thinks the fresh tires will be a huge enough advantage that they can pass the entire field. So a lot of strategies could still pan out. A lot of the drivers at the front of the field, I imagine, are going to try to stretch it all the way to the finish without a pit stop. But that doesn't mean someone deeper in the pack could pull a Houdini on the field and try to steal a win. Well, since we're about a quarter of the way through the race, let's do a run through on where everyone's running. So in third right now, you've got Trevor Vaden, who has worked his way. He started in third and has worked his way back up to third here. And slowly but surely catching up to the top two. Could start to see a 3-truck battle brewing here. Running in fourth, it's Alex Sanvital. Fifth, Matthew Fastnot. Sixth, Chris Harvey. Solid run for him there in the number 12 LFG Motorsports Honda. Brian DeBlanc running in seventh, doing pretty much what he does all the time here in this USA Trucks division. Just consistently putting together good runs. Running in 8th, it's Anheuser Walkner. 9th is Zach Magoon. 10th, Dave Steele Jr. 11th, Noah Hobson. 12th, Kyler Sustre. 13th, John Hagan. 14th, Bailey Parker. 15th is Spinham Walker. 16th, Cat Durham. 17th, Adam Cruz. 18th, William Whitmore. Paul Odino in 19th. Lynn Farrell in 20th. Tasha Wright mid-pack in 21st. 22nd, Joao Vitor. Then you got Braden Hunt, Gavin Legend, Krista Cower. Krista Cower and teammate Adam Starr. Jonah Burridge, Rich Roy, Alan Chavot, Jason So, and you're back to your lead 2 as they've put down to 30th place, a lap down. This battle staying pretty tight for first and second, as they've managed to navigate quite a bit of traffic there. These two still right about the same distance from each other that they've been. And we've got a caution. Well, it's actually really hard to tell what brought out the caution there. We do have some takers down pit road, which will pretty much put to rest any theories about fuel mileage in this race here. Perhaps a debris caution, so we'll skim the field to see if there's anyone stalled, anyone wrecked. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Yep, so just a debris caution from the towers, and we'll get a restart, double file restart, with a considerably different lineup, I imagine. These are all your lap down trucks. Trevor Walker rejoins, Tim Courting, Alex Sanvital, Trevor Vaden, Matthew Fastnot, Chris Harvey, Brian DeBlanc, Zach Magoon, Dave Steele Jr., and Noah Hobson will be your top 10. There was a little bit of extracurriculars after the caution. 27 ran right into the 95. Took the most of that damage on the front end of the truck. And now they have taken the hood off to repair that damage. So I do think this restart is going to be pretty chaotic, as you're going to have Trevor Walker and Tim Courting side by side. Trevor Vaden behind him, though. He should have inside line, I imagine. So we could see the Trevors push their way to a 1-2 restart here. Actually, based on running order, I am incorrect. It would be the 93 on the inside line. That 20 will go high. So the 20 is going to have to push Tim Courting on the restart here. 93 of Sanvital licking their chops at a potential opportunity to fight for the lead here in his early career. They should get doubled up right about now. Now it's time to cross your T's, dot your I's, get back online here and fight, fight, fight. Whoa, what a start. Tim Courting, I imagine that was almost a jump. I don't know how the officials will view that, but we'll just let that roll and see what happens. Bit of a jump start. Seems like the officials were fine with it. I don't see a DQ being handed out, so 90 truck back to the lead here on the restart. And everyone good to go on gas. Fuel should not be a problem now. It's actually quite impressive how they get singled out as quickly as they do here. The side-by-side does not last very long at all. You have to go pretty deep in the field to find any double wide action. Looks like Chris Harvey getting passed there by Spin'em Walker. About to get passed by Adam Cruz. Then you do have a lot of double wide in the back half there. But very, very solid single file running at the front of the field. I got to double check where San Vital sits in our point standings, as he's had quite a solid start to the season so far. San Vital sits 9th in the points. And if we look at his past records, he has not finished any worse than 23rd this season. He's had 2 finishes of 23rd. He's had an 8th, a 6th, and a 3rd. So 3 top 10s and 1 top 5. And his other finishes 11th, 13th, and 16th. So still solid finishes out of that 93 truck. Where they've been knocking it out of the park this year has been their qualifying. Average qualifying position of 9th. They have only qualified 14th and 19th once apiece there. All their other qualifying positions have been inside the top 10. So Alex Sanvital definitely knocking on the door of something big in that 93 truck. And just like that, look at, we've got a 3-truck battle for the win now, as Sanvital has joined the party. We still have not seen any retirements in the race here tonight. Our lap leaders have been Trevor Walker and Tim Cording. Only those two have been at the front leading so far. Now Spin'em Walker moves his way up into the top 5. That number 7 truck looking pretty solid as he's closing the gap on the lead 3. Here we go, maybe a pass for 3rd on the horizon here. He's alongside the 93 going for the position, gets 3rd, and now sets his sights on the leaders. As far as fast times go, that 7 truck is only 13th fastest. So I don't know where this is coming from, but Spin'em Walker now making a move on 2nd, taking the 2nd position away. He's got the drive to try and take the lead here too. The 7, wow, what Where did this come from? That 7 truck on a tear right now. Did he turn a fast lap? No, he's still not turning fast laps. It's just our leaders dropping off here. They did not get their settings right, it seems. Maybe went the wrong way on the adjustments. Here we go. Potentially a pass for position on the leader. Spin Walker going in. He's going to take the lead away right at about halfway here tonight. Holy cow. This could be a platinum moment of the season. That does not happen. Spinham has been able to get a win in Bridge to Cup this season, but maybe it's weighing a little bit on him that he hasn't been able to get that truck win yet. This could stand out as a big moment on the season right here. Let's just put this into perspective on his finishes this season, that number 7 truck. He has not had a bad season, but he has not had a spectacular season. His worst finish has been 21st, but on average, he's about a top 10 truck. He's had a 9th, an 8th, a 3rd, a 6th, and an 8th, along with an 11th and a 13th. So this first place pace definitely comes as a surprise to the whole field here tonight. Must have had quite the setup in that 7 truck to blow through our dominant leaders like he did there. Man, all it took was for Noah Hobson to upset the Trevor apple cart, and our West Series is getting blown wide open here so far. Tim Cording still holding on strong for second. He didn't want to let that second place go as much as possible, hoping that maybe we get yet another caution to rack him up and he can get redemption on that 7 truck. Damn, that is something else. That 7 truck, I think, was deeper in the field prior to the restart. Let's go check that out. His progress from the restart. He restarted from 19th. He was running 15th before the caution. Once they pitted, he rejoined in 19th. And just was able to pick them off piece by piece, truck by truck, all the way to the front. 19th to the lead. That does not happen at all, usually. And you got to imagine he's probably hoping that some sponsors start to notice and hop on the side panels of that truck. He's been running pretty minimalist this season in that number 7 Dodge Ram. Maybe with a good finish like this tonight, he could entice some sponsors to hop on the side panel there. Damn, that's impressive. Truck that was 13th fastest and should have by all rights been a top 15th place truck here tonight. He has turned on the afterburners and is blistering the rest of the competition here tonight. That's what you gotta love about racing. You can see some big Cinderella stories materialize out of nowhere. Of course, we can't count our chickens before they've hatched because there's still quite a good amount of laps left in this race. About 45 laps to go. Spinham has put it up to a 7-second lead so far, so short of a caution, it's not looking like anyone's going to catch him at this rate. .24.5 was last lap for Tim Courting. Pair that up to Spinham and his 23.8, so he's running about half second faster than the competition behind him. Now this definitely gets hairy when you have a truck this fast and you're working through the field. You could find yourself getting tangled up with lap traffic not of your doing. This raises the question, did our leaders take 4 tires on pit road? Did he take 4 tires on pit road? Sorry, I just gotta dig a little bit deeper on this because this is mind-blowing. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, look how far ahead everyone else was on pit road. They were already leaving. Oh, there you have it. Our leaders took 2 tires. Most of the leaders took 2 tires thinking they could outduel. That was a bonehead move on our leaders to only take 2 tires. That's why you often see the folks towards the back of the field gamble. And I've never seen it pay off before in NR2003, but I think we're going to see it here tonight. That someone just gambled and it was foolish for the other drivers to not pull off the same move there. As you can see, tires are king here at Iowa. Tire degradation is just too strong for these guys. Oh, Spinham takes out the 07. That is not what he wanted. As we had our cameras rolling, this only continues to get more and more complicated. As now you can only imagine what strategies are going to unfold now. Well, you saw it live here, folks, right on the main leader cam. Our leader made a bit of a mistake going through lap traffic and is going to make a move that he's probably going to regret by the end of this one. Just hooks the 07, spins him out. And that lead that he had it's erased. What advantage he had, gone. So, does anyone come down pit road for pit stops is the question. Well, our Iowa Cup race was an instant classic, and already our truck Iowa race looking like an instant classic. They're going to have to drop all that lap traffic to the back. Here's hoping that it does not give us any troubles once they get to the start-finish line here. Having the lap traffic drop to the back on a short track like this often causes a little bit of pandemonium. And usually I don't use better cautions on short tracks, but I figured I'd give it a shot here tonight at Iowa, being just a little bit longer than your typical short track. Everyone's dropping to the back. This should allow our second, third, fourth, rest of the field to freight train down the middle here. Yep, there we go. Leaders back to the front. Lap traffic all the way to the back. There we go. Just like it was meant to work. So we'll have another restart here tonight. And your advantages are going to be a little bit depleted here. That advantage that the 7 truck had started to grow, I don't think he's going to have the same luxury this time around to just drive away with it. Trevor Walker hungry for that win. Tim Cording even more so hungry for the win. And here we go. Green flag waves on the restart. Trevor Walker gets ousted by the 7 there. Those 4 tires still just a bit too much for the folks that took 2 tires. We'll have to see the lap times. It's looking very hard for anyone else to compete against Spinham Walker with those fresher tires. 24.8. Trevor Walker turned a 25.7. I'm amazed some people didn't take the opportunity to go down pit road, because that could have been a game changer. Even if you're going 1 second a lap faster, that's 1 second every lap that you can gain on the leader. Spinham turns a 24.2, so he hit the pit stop lottery here tonight. The rest of the field's kind of struggling. But Spin Walker is really his own worst enemy here tonight. If anything's going to happen, it's going to have to come from a mistake that he makes, because he is driving away yet again. Actually, even more aggressively than the last restart where he drove away with it. He's almost... Only in 2 laps he's gotten a 3.5 second lead. Adam Cruz in the top 10. Solid run for that guy. Number 05 representing Brazil. Top 10 run from him is going to go a long way in keeping him in the mix. Wow. Spinham's running a full second faster each lap right now. He's gotten himself up to a 5-second lead on the rest of the field. Holy cow. Well, I think your crew chiefs are going to be chalking this one up as a notebook moment for the future. Not to take 2 tires no matter what. It's not worth the cost. It's definitely changed the whole perspective of this race here tonight. Ultimately, you would have thought that the crew chiefs on the 21 and the 90 would have gotten that call right, but it's what happens when you come to a track that you don't have any data on. Sometimes you get mistakes like this that are made. You just don't know what those tires are going to do. And obviously a two tire call was not the right one to make. Spinham is going to catch back up to lap traffic before the end of this. Barely. It's going to be close, but he will have to deal with just a little bit of lap traffic before the last lap rolls around. Of course, we could still have yet another caution. We've seen 2 so far. It's a good thing that we added a little longer stint on this race. I don't think we would have seen something like this pan out the way it did. Go ahead and make it so we can get green-white checkers just in case something like that pans out. Not very often that I enable green-white checkers, but there could still be an opportunity for that to happen. Especially now that Spinham Walker is caught up to lap traffic. Seems like this could be his undoing. If he makes more contact with a lapped truck, the closing gap is something to behold, because he's going so much faster than these lap trucks that they're just kind of in his way. He is put up to a 12-second deficit on the rest of the field. They're turning 24 seconds, so he's pretty much lapped. He's made half a lap over the entire field since the restart. People at risk of going a lap down will be all the way up to 20th, as we only have 20 trucks on the lead lap. He's still going to have to find the right opportunity to pass on all of this lap traffic, so it does not get any easier, even though he's got the lead. That 07 truck might have a little bit of beef with the leader after getting knocked out the way he did. We want to keep our eyes on the two of them once he closes up on the 07. He blows by the 01 and now has the 97 right there in front of him. '97 holding him up a little bit. Man, it's not even fair. It's like he's implemented a cheat code here tonight to get that truck to run just a little bit stronger than the rest of the field. Now they're 2 by 2 in front of him. This is going to be harder and harder to work through the lap traffic. That 35, that is for 20th. He's about to put 20th place a lap down here. We've got 10 laps to go at the line. Spin Walker just needs to drive clean. He does not need to push the envelope for any reason. He's got the win in his pocket, even if he just ran half throttle for the rest of the race here. When you see someone like this that has that drive, that intensity, it's hard to tell someone to slow down, especially when you've got a rocket ship like that 7 truck. Now we're down to just 19 trucks on the lead lap. Actually 17. There was some passes made, and that puts only 17 trucks on the lead lap with just about 9 laps to go. Oh, and he did it again. He's going to bring out another caution after he takes out the 89 of Gavin Legend. They're definitely pushing the envelope for some overtime here tonight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and give the wave around to some drivers to alleviate some of this lap traffic. The other guys that they're keeping them in the game. I have not seen anything like this in all my years of running this game. I don't know how laps, strategy played out like it did, but it has, and it has with some ferocity here. Okay, so that puts our top runners back together here for the restart. so we don't have any traffic woes to worry about. Some of these drivers will drop to the back, but we'll just let them do that naturally so it doesn't hold up our leaders at the front. So, what is probably going to happen is that 7 truck is just going to drive away and win the race here. But he did not want to keep putting it to a restart to determine his fate here tonight because, you know, those guys, if they kicked it into gear, they could still get the win. I'm still mildly surprised that no one is pitting. It would have been nice to see at least a couple takers down pit road, but not a single taker. They obviously decided that they made their bed and they're going to lay in it. The separation based on tire degradation is beyond noticeable at this point, and that 90 truck in all rights is not going to have what it takes to get the win here. But with 4 laps, if he can just hang in there and give the 7 some hell, there might be an opportunity for the 90 of Tim Courting to get the win. That's why you don't want to let it get determined on a restart like this. Something could go awry. That 7 could have a flat tire on the restart. Something could sputter. 90 could find an extra gear and steal the win, but ultimately the tires are gone on the rest of the field. That 7, like he put together a cheat code to win this race. There you go. 7 just cruising out front. 4 tires for the victory. It's going to be 3 to go this time. Tim Courting turned a 27.2. Spin Walker turned a 26.2. So it's a full second that they are off the pace. Definitely a shot we needed for this series to see something out of the ordinary, something different to break out. And that's definitely what we had here tonight. This race had a little bit of everything. Had some drama, had some strategy, and ultimately someone that was unexpected steal the show here at the end. Spin Walker just has 1 more lap now as the white flag waves in the air. This 1 win could be huge for this team, as it'll be bonus points once they get into the chase. Oh, well, it's also a ticket punched into the chase no matter what, because win and you're in. Checkered flag waving. It's Spin Walker getting the job done here at Iowa, stealing the show from the rest of the contenders. Alex Sanvital with a 3rd. Noah Hobson 4th. Trevor Vaden 5th. Matthew Fastnot 6th. Trevor Walker 7th. Brian DeBlank 8th. Coming home 9th was Matthew Fastnot, 6th was Fastnot. A little bit of extracurriculars after the race. Anheuser Walkner 9th. And Joao Vitor in his series debut finishing in the top 10. Jason So patches together a 12th place finish. Not too bad for that 55 Honda. And there you have it. Spin Walker gets his first career win in the USA Trucks Western Division. It's going to go a long way for him in the chase. So congratulations to Spin'em Walker on getting his second career win across all of the Sigmaverse. And did it in a very thrilling fashion, stealing the show from everyone else. Well, that is a wrap for tonight. We got the race in a day later than normal, but all said is done. With tomorrow, we will have a doubleheader with ARCA to begin the night and Bridge to Cup to follow after that. That'll get us back up on schedule for the Cup race as scheduled on Friday. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. Iowa did not fail to impress yet again. We had a great race. And Spin'em Walker gets a kind of a goofy win, but I mean still earned it. That was all him tonight. He outsmarted the rest of the field with his strategy. So kudos to that 7 team. Maybe now we'll see some extra sponsors on the side panels. And with that, folks, I would like to wish everyone a good night. Stay safe out there. Have a good night. Sleep well. Everything, all of the above. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see.